I'm going to go to lab 1 now. So I'm going to do lab 1 together with you in this course. So here's the lab 1. Um, lab 1, if you remember from last lecture, it's about creating materials, products, right? You can create final products or semi-finished product or raw materials. And in German, it's um, indicated by firsts or halves and raws, right? These are the acronyms or names for finished product and the semi-finished product and raw materials. So these uh, products we are going to make here. And at the end of this lab, you are to have at least 5, uh, uh, 2 finished product and 2 semi-finished product and 1 raw materials, I believe. So those things you have to create. And I'm going to show you how to do this. So here are explanations in the first paragraph, basically saying that you have a standard ridge front bike, and there's also premium commuter bike. So 2 types of product you want to create, and the difference between ridge front regular bike and ridge front commuter bike is that the saddle is it has more cushion, right? So it's going to be a better one. So you want to um, create these 2 different products, and it has different number, RFRT 1000 and RFRT 2000. And using this number, you want to create these products. And also, 2 models are identical, except the commuter is pricier and some kind of puncture resistant tires. These are the differences. And you are going to also create semi-finished product that go into this bike and raw materials too. So that's what we want to do. So 1.1 is about finished product, and we are going to work on it together. So the first step is to create this product and go to that session and to do that. And as I did, if you don't have this favorite function, you have to go through this directory such as logistics, right? Logistic and production. And then you have to go to master data. And then you have material master. And we have material create. And we have MF1, right? So finished product. So that's the steps that you have to follow if you don't have these favorite functions set before, right? So if you have done that, you don't have to go through this process. You can just double click on MMF1, or another way is just type MMF1 here at the command bar. That's another way to do that, right? So you got all the functions memorized, you used many times, multiple times, then you're going to enter this function in the command line and just click on this check mark. And then you are gonna now you have moved to create finished product window, right? So here you are going to create the product there. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to correctly type the thing that I want to create. That's 1000 dash and minus 22, right? So RFRT 1000 dash 22. Some students just type these pound signs, right? You are not supposed to do that, right? This pound, whenever you see these 2 pound signs, you have to replace it with your own data number, right? For example, who is it? Who is the first person? So your number might be GBI that's 012. Then your data number is 12 minus GBI that's 022. So 222 is my number. And say if you are writing 22, then I will recognize you as 22. And I have no way of knowing that you have completed your own or created your own product because you created the product for the other person namely me, 22, right? So my data number is 22. So it's very important for you to use the right data number that is yours, right? So if it is 12, you have to use 12. If it is 13, it's a 13. And be careful that you use your own number rather than other things. And industry sector, we have various industry sectors such as chemical industry, pharmaceuticals, and so forth. But now we are on in a retail industry. So you just choose retail industry. And if you have done that, now you can move on to the next step that's by click on this continue button or enter button. So click on it.
I just had a question.
Okay.
My number's 004. Should I put 4 or should I put 04?
04.
04, okay.
That's a good question. So if you have done that, now you will see this new window prompted for you, and this is various dimensions of a product. So you are creating a product, and as I said before, a product has many dimensions, many aspects, or many facets. Basic data facet, sales facet, or MRP facet, or forecasting facet, warehousing facet, supply of marketing. There are so many aspects of the product, and we are saying now we are going to work on basic data 1, and then MRP 1, 2, 3, and work scheduling. So these 5 dimensions we are going to work with. That's what we are saying here. So basic data 1, MRP 1, 2, 3, and work scheduling. That's what we are going to work with at this time. Later, you will come back and create forecasting aspect of this product. But at this moment, we'll do that. If you're a marketing person, then you will also create sales aspect later. So it has many aspects. At this point, we are going to work with only these 5 dimensions and create views selected. So we want to see these views and then go through one by one and change things and enter new information there. If you have done that, now click on this check mark. And then it brings up to next window saying, yeah, what is the organization level that you are working with? So what plant are you talking about? If you remember correctly, there are 3 plants in the United States and there are 2 plants in Germany. So we have to indicate that here. And if we are using actually the Dallas plant. So we are entering DL, meaning Dallas, and the number is -22, and yours, for example, Nina, hers is 04, is hers, right? So, or you can just click on this icon next to plant, then it brings up all the plants you have here, and among them you have to choose yours, right? So -22. So I'm going to choose that, double click on it. I chose it. And the rest of the thing you don't have to worry about, and click on this check mark. By doing so, now you are ready to move on to the next step. Then now you are on basic data, right? Basic data, look at here, basic data 2, sales organization 1, 2, and sales 3. And then if you move on, then it's going to now bring out MRP 1, 2, 3, and so forth. So these are the dimensions of this product and that we are working with. And if you have done that, now we are entering the product description. So what is RFRT 1000-22? We have to ask that question. And the instruction says it's a reach front bike, standard bike 22, right? So here it says there is a pound sign and you have to replace it with your own number. So -22, Nina's is 04, that you have to do right here. And then base unit of measures. What is the base unit of measures? If you look at this or click on this icon, you will see there are many measures. For example, square inch, cubic inch, and percentage, or ACR, crate, days, and decimeter or drum. There are many. Ours is very simple, which is EA, each. So double click on it. And we are saying that this is a discrete product. It cannot be divided, and it's not chemical. It's a discrete product. Therefore, we use the each as base unit of measure. And then you want to enter, now what division is this? It's asking what division is it? And if you want to understand what divisions are available, then you can also click on this icon and you see accessories division and bicycle divisions you have, and you are going to choose bicycle division. So BI you will type or just choose that. And then what kind of mature group are you in? That's what they are asking. Let's also see what is available there. And we see there are raw materials group and safety gear group and utility group and wheel group. And there are also bike group. And we are talking about finished bike. So double click on that and bike group you are in, and other lab office and product hierarchy and value, these things are unnecessary at this moment. And we don't have to make it so complicated from the beginning. And then dimensions. Dimensions, here you are going to enter the weight of your bike, and it's 8,510 gram, and net weight is the same, 85110. So you type that gram information there, and weight is gram, it's not kilogram. So let's see what kind of units are available. And gram, kilogram, kiloton, and US pound, and so forth are available. And we are going to choose G, gram, right? So we have that. And if you have entered that data, then now click on this check mark. So you are done with the basic data one, and you will now go to MRP1 here, right? So you have MRP1, MRP2. There's a dot next to MRP1, meaning that you chose them and you are going to work with them. So MRP1, 2, 3, and we are now working on forecasting, but later we'll also work with other dimension there. So if you have done that now, we are on MRP1 here. We go to now MRP procedure. So let us check MRP type, because there are various MRP types there. So click on that icon. We have MRP fixing type 0, M1 is fixing type 1, M2, and no planning is ND, P1 is fixing type 1, and the PD is MRP. R1 is time-based for planning, R2 is time-based auto record point, RE is replacement plan externally, and so forth. So there are many MRP options available here, and we are going to go with the basic option, which is M1. So MPS fixing time 1. So click on that. Now we have M1 there, and enter 1 for the planning time fence. So we have 1 day of the fence there. So just click on that. MRP coordinator, so controller. So if you have multiple controllers, then you can indicate that here, but we have here only one. So even if you click on that icon, you will have only one controller. So Dallas 2, Dallas 22 MRP controller, and her or his code is 000. And then we go to now number 4, that is lot size, right? How many of them are you going to make, right? That's the lot size. When you are making bikes, how many of them are you going to make at once, right? For example, when I went to Hyundai assembly plant in Montgomery, Alabama, they are making Sonata, maybe 5 of them together, and then they change it to Elantra. So 5 of them, and then they change the color, right? White Sonata or red. They change this thing, but they have lot size themselves. So that's what it means here. And lot size is, now we have EX is lot for lot, order a quantity, and you have to create that many a product at once, and then go to the next lot. That's a lot for lot. And we have like fixing and splitting, fixed order quantity, group reorder procedure, replenish the maximum stock level, right? So stock level is already determined. Say you have only 10 out of 50, then 40 is going to be automatically assigned and produced. And monthly lot size, period lot size, there are many options here too. And we go with, basic option lot for lot order. And then we have now minimum lot size. How many of them are going to make at once? 10 bikes at once. That's what it says, 10. And if you have done that, now click on this check mark and you can go next, MRP2, right? So MRP1 is done, green mark is created. Now MRP2, we have to enter the data here in MRP2 dimension. We are entering procedure, procurement type. Is it procuring anything? And that's X, right? Let's see what type is available here. F is external procurement. X is both procurement type. So sometimes no procurement, sometimes external procurement. That happens at the same time. So both procurement types are happening. And it's an X. And number two, so is it JIT delivery schedule or not? That information can be specified, but we are not interested in it. Now, scheduling in-house production, how long does it take for you to produce this product? And it takes 1 day, right? And then scheduled margin key is 001. It's already determined, so not much you can do about that at this point. And then safety stock, how many safe stock do you want to have? You know what safe stock is, right? So at all time, how many bikes you want to have available for your production? And that's a safety stock, and 100 of them, so that you can mitigate risks that you face in your business or demand or your supplies. So that's a safety stock, and 100 of them you are going to enter at this moment. And you have done that, then click on this check mark, then you are done with MRP2 dimension. Now you are automatically on MRP3 dimension, and here you have to also enter other things. So in MRP3, what do you have to enter? First of all, the strategy group. What is strategy group? So let's look at what options are available for us. Click on that. We have make to stock option and product by lot and pre-planning with assembly and planning with assembly, make to order method, assemble to order method. Various, method is available. And if you click on strategy group, 10 is make to stock production, right? So we are saying that we are making them and stocking them in our warehouse. That's what you are saying. If you choose like make to order method, you are not stocking anything, but you are receiving the order and then you are making their product. You don't have to stock them at all, right? But in this case, you have your safety stock 100. So unless you have if you don't have 100 safety stock, you have to keep on making your bike in that case. And many things you can also specify in this case. And then 10 is the thing that you want to go with. And that's 10. And then availability check. Is it available? So if you like to, you can just type 02. But if you want to understand what that is like, then you can see 01 is daily requirements and 02 is individual requirements. So we are going with individual requirements. And if you have done that, now click on this check mark. You are done with MRP3. Now you are on work scheduling part. And here you want to enter a production supervisor. Who is your supervisor, right? And here we don't know who he is or she is, but in real situation, 000 is Alia, 001 is Emily, 003 is Rocco, and so forth. You have that code right there. And here, let's enter 000, and we have only one choice. And product schedule profile, and let's see what this is again. Let's check it together. And that's release and schedule. As soon as you release it, you have to schedule your work, right? So that's what they are saying. And then if you have done that, now you are done with product RFRT 1000-22. You are done with that and you want to save it. So click on the save icon, then you are saving your record. So, it's important for you to save this data. And when you are saving, always use the save icon. So now you saved your icon here. Now look at 1.1.11. It says now create a vert for the related product RFRT 2000 pound sign, meaning you replace it with your own data number. And this is the ridge front commuter bike, and all settings are the same as for the standard version, except the following. The gross and net weight is 9,000 grams, and the safety stock is only 50 units. And the material description is ridge front commuter. So now you have to do the same thing, right? Say you can go, if you want, you can go out of um, the window, and then now you are going back to 1.1.1 and starting over, right? And you're starting from here again. Everything is the same except for a few things that you have to change, and you have to do that, right? So you start with MMF1. Notice that this is finished product. You don't want to create raw material. You want to create finished product. So double click on it, and then you create now finished product, and you have to enter RFRT now 2000-22. Now not 1000-22, or your own data number you have to enter. And it's a retail industry, so we know that it's all pre-filled, so that's good. And then now you move on there, and you have select views. If you do that here, and you choose basic data, MRP 1, 2, 3, and then work scheduling, and then create views selected, right? So that you have to do, and click on check mark, and the plant is DL22 in my case. In your case, it could be, I know Nina's DL04, and someone else, you have to use your own data number. And then click on this continue. Then now you are on the first dimension, basic data dimension. And here, this is not ridge front standard. What was it? Is ridge front commuter, right? So you have to enter the ridge front commuter instead of standard, because this time it's not a standard one, but it's a commuter bike, right? And then you have to follow the same process that we have done before. So we know that the unit of measure was each. So I'm going to just enter each, EA, and then the divisional bike group, and then the mature group was bikes. So I'm going to just enter that. And then we have this weight. I think it was 9,000 gram, right? 9,000 gram, and the weight is not kilogram, but it's a gram. So 9,000, and then weight is gram. And if you have done that, you are done with the basic data, and click on check mark. You successfully finished that dimension. Now you're on MRP1. In MRP1, you have to now put MRP type. MRP type was M1, that there was a basic session, and the planning fence was 1, and MRP controller was 000, and then lot size was EX, and minimum lot size, I think it was 10, the same, right?
Professor, I just
And
wanted to let you know it's 1:20 and we have our presentation.
oh, okay. Yeah, I completely forgot about it. So yeah, so this is how you are going to complete lab 1. So follow the direction. Just be careful that you need to create additional finished product and additional raw materials, additional semi-finished product, so that you have